Hello and welcome, my name's Jordan and this here is my podcast for Fundamental Voice. In this podcast, I'll be covering the change of my voice in one major area of vocal development. The area of development that I have chosen to cover is breath support. When I began the course, I had little knowledge on how the voice works, the intricacies of the vocal cord, or how my diaphragm works, and how they all work together to support one another. My first exercise that I found useful was laying on your back, semi-supine, with your hands spread out over my belly button. When in this position, I'll begin to count from 1 to 10, adding the next number in the sequence and repeating this 10 times, like so. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Between each number, I take a slow, deep breath, making sure I focus on pulling the breath down from the diaphragm by letting the stomach go. Once I'd become comfortable doing this laid down, I progressed on to doing this while seated, standing, and then walking around, as this affected the diaphragm differently. I would also repeat the exercise while counting down from 10, but this time in a much more chatty and carefree fashion, but still focusing heavily on the diaphragm. Not only does this train me into engaging the diaphragm, it also provides benefits such as improving stability in the core muscles, reducing my oxygen demand, and slowing down my breathing rate. I also valued learning exercises to help open up my ribs, which I found out move to allow the diaphragm to move. The back rib exercise, where you place one foot in front of the other and arch forward slightly, placing the hands either side of your head and ensuring that your elbows touch. Once doing this, I would take a breath in and release the breath on a shh noise. This could be further improved when with a partner who could apply pressure to the ribs and allow you to push against them, opening up the ribs more and allowing me to take a better quality breath. I found that both exercises helped me in my personal poem assessment when performing The Parting Glass. The poem is a farewell to a friend and family, and I felt that taking the time between lines to take these breaths allowed me to have thoughts between the lines that I could carry into the next ones to improve my connection to the poem. Now, accents for me have always been a rough spot, as I would say that I've never been able to do an accent to a good degree. I learned that accents have more to them than just how you sound. Facial structure plays a huge role in how you do an accent, the most obvious one being the difference between Standard English and American. With Standard English, the jaw is dropped and the focus applies to the vowels, such as the strut vowel, where the jaw dropped features, as well as the American accent, where focusing on stretched jaws and lips being tighter and closer together. Knowing this, I'm able to better improve my accents by applying these tips. While on the topic of language, I'd like to bring up articulation. As with accents, it's possible to lose words. This is where articulation exercises, such as repeating a line with your tongue out and then once again with it back in your mouth, like so. A blue bug's blood, a blue bug's blood, a blue bug's blood, a blue bug's blood. Or doing the same but with the teeth together. A blue bug's blood, a blue bug's blood, a blue bug's blood, a blue bug's blood. Doing this can help clear up my speech. Vocal health is a key part of my development. It is safe to say that my knowledge of vocal care extended to little more than avoiding smoking and drinking and to avoid shouting for loud or for long periods of time. One thing I've learned is just how our vocal folds work at different pitch ranges. Take, for example, A440. This is the A above middle C, and at that level, our vocal folds move around 440 times a second, which is where the name A440 comes from. However, at lower ranges, your vocal folds can move as little as 60 times a second, whereas at the higher ranges, they can operate to up to 2,000 times a second, and as you can imagine, this can cause damage to them. My breath work also aided my work in resonance. One of the exercises for resonance is to beat the chest while humming and gradually open it up to a vowel that will extend our note in a direction. These notes are the more for the forward and backwards resonance, the for our left and right resonance, and more for the up and down residents. By having opened up my ribs and taking quality breaths, I'm able to push these further to reach levels I need to fill the space I'm working in. One final point that I'd like to cover in breath is how Western culture has affected our breathing. This is due to the idea that women were supposed to wear corsets. By doing this, they were pressing and forcing their ribs and insides together, compressing and reducing, and even preventing the diaphragm from fully operating. This has over time led us to stop engaging the abdominal muscles, something we do naturally as a baby. I'd like to thank you all for listening.